You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey, answering all of your questions as they come in live right here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. From Goku to the Cowboys trade a pick for an offensive lineman. If it's a day 3 pick, a late day 3 pick, sure. Here's the problem every team has found when they need offensive line help. There is a lack of good offensive line talent. You have a very tough time finding a true starter from that standpoint. So, sure, if you can find one, maybe Jason Peters makes the most sense for the Cowboys when it's all said and done. From Relentless Mikey, Dark to Light, that's a fun name. If no franchise tag next year, get big value for Roquan and trade. Here's the problem. You have to franchise tag him to trade him. Roquan Smith will become a free agent next year. So it's either tag and trade, which brings down the value of a trade, or let him leave in free agency. So I think a tag is very likely. Would cost you about $18 million. But it is a lot more complicated to trade Roquan Smith as next year when they're got to put on the franchise tag than it would be if he had one more left on his deal like he did this past year. So that's the complication for Roquan Smith, plus the massive franchise tag cost at $18 million. From RJ, where does Odell Beckham play this year? It's a good question. I don't know where Odell Beckham ends up going. There are a lot of different routes. I'll say this. I think OBJ will sign October, November once he's healthy. And by that point, we'll have a better feel as to which playmakers, which teams are in the market for more help. From Slim Jim 68, that's a fun name, Slim Jim. Pretty good snack, too. If Lamar goes off, will he be the highest paid quarterback? Define highest paid for starters. Are we talking per year? I don't know if anyone's going to beat Rodgers for now. There's kind of some fake money in there. Do we mean more than $46.1 million per year? Or do we mean guaranteed money? Because that's Deshaun Watson's outlier contract, $230 million, fully guaranteed, thanks to Cleveland. I think the reality is this. If Lamar Jackson puts like a top 10 quarterback, he's going to get more than Kyler Murray. Because there are so many teams that are in dire straits for a quarterback, as we saw with Cleveland's handling of the situation, that somebody, whether it's the Ravens or somebody else, will throw the bag at Lamar Jackson. He's better than Kyler Murray. He's going to get more than Murray, otherwise he failed himself as his own agent and negotiator. So our question, will Lamar Jackson be the highest paid QB in the NFL? Y for yes, N for no. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Y for yes or N for no. From Cam IGL, Super Chat. Thank you, Cam. Predict Justin Fields' stats this year. It's a good question, Cam. I'm hoping for something like 63% completion percentage. I think it's going to be a lot more vertical shots offense. That'll help keep down the completion percentage, but is still, growth from what it was last year. I'll go a little bit lighter on the yards. I think they'll run the football a lot. 3,872 passing yards. And I hope a lot better touchdown-interception ratio. How about 24-10? TDs, interceptions. Actually, almost the inverse of what it was last year, INTs, touchdowns. I think that'd be good growth for Fields. I don't love his receiving corps. I don't love his offensive line. The Bears are rebuilding in a massive way this year. So even if it's not great, I'm not out on Justin Fields because the supporting cast is simply not there yet for a year 2 QB. From Robert Bruce, hello, Tom, Jack, everyone at Chat Sports. Biggest concerns with the Patriots offense. Is it offensive line or is it the new scheme? Scheme, right? It's the fact that somehow Matt Patricia / Joe Judge / Bill Belichick are your play callers. Producer Jack's like this right now. He's in shambles. It doesn't make sense. It's really weird. I get that it's Bill Belichick, the coach, and he has earned the benefit of the doubt, but everything New England's done since the end of last season, I just don't get it. I really don't. So I'll give him some benefit of the doubt, but if the Patriots are bad this year, would anyone be surprised? I don't think so. I really don't think so in the end. Now, today's show is made possible by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you see right there. It's NFL Daily. Chatsports.com/bet. promo code NFL. You can bet on a wide array of things, week 1 games, odds, and about some Coach of the Year odds. Some big lines here, by the way, so if you can get it right, you're going to win a ton of money. Brandon Staley, Josh McDaniels, and Brian Dable are your betting favorites, which McDaniels being in there, I get Staley and Dable, or excuse me, Staley and Hackett, but I think I'm not sold on the Raiders. I'm a little bit worried on that front there. Mike McDaniels plus 6,000 or 1,600, same as Shanahan, Nick Sirianni, and Kevin O'Connell. So an obvious bias towards the new coaches. If the Chargers make the playoffs, maybe they'll give it to Brandon Staley. But I think that is always a wide open race. It's a good one to keep an eye out for. All right, Matthew Frey or Fry. Do my Broncos do anything where they stay confident with what we got? You might see some back end of the roster shuffling, but it's been pretty quiet in Denver since the draft, basically, which was already kind of quiet from that standpoint. I would not anticipate any major moves coming from Denver. Maybe look at a veteran after week 1 where there's some guaranteed from that standpoint stuff. It's not as guaranteed money, but I'm not expecting anything big. True lore. So the Niners on a backup QB if Jimmy leaves in 2023. That's what they did this year. They signed Nate Sudfeld to replace Jimmy Garoppolo. Then there was no trade market for Jimmy G, and they kept him. Then they cut Sudfeld. They kept Brock Purdy. If Purdy's the backup, then you're fine. If not, yes, you should sign someone. From Taco Frog 88, should the Texans trade for Darius Slayton? I think the addition of Tyler Johnson, for the most part, keeps them out of the wide receiver race. I'll also say this for Houston. Don't trade for players. Let's be honest here. They're probably not going to be that good if we're being honest about where that team is at as an organization. Even with Dameon Pierce as RB1 and a nice young piece long-term and Kenyon Green and maybe Davis Mills breaks out, it's not going to be great overall. You're talking below 500. So I would not trade a draft pick for a wide receiver 3/4. From Entertainment Now, if you insist, the Titans bring in Odell Beckham Jr. They've, depending on when you watch the video, maybe they've signed Josh Gordon by now. Bring him in for a visit. Odell Beckham, I do not believe will sign until October, November, when he's healthy. If we get to that time frame and Robert Woods ain't playing great, and or Treylon Burks has been a disappointment, and or there's injuries, and or it's just, Nick Westbrook-Akina is who we think he is, right? Then Tennessee does make sense. But there will be other teams in the market. So we're trying to guess, knowing there could easily and probably will be some injuries. What are you doing from that standpoint there? There's a lot of uncertainty from that standpoint. So where will Odell Beckham sign? Let me know in the comments section. Is it going to be Tennessee or is it going to be somewhere else altogether? Drop that destination for me in the comments section. From Elizabeth Rothschild, should the Jags trade for Denzel Mims, Darius Slayton, or neither? Of the guys, I think Denzel Mims would be the most fun. I think they're going to roll it with Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, and Christian Kirk. Kind of puts Mims right back where he is right now in the fourth, as a fourth receiver or fifth receiver. So, I don't think that's the most likely outcome. I think Jags maybe draft someone next year makes the most sense. Junior Estrada, should the Patriots bring back Logan Ryan? He's going to re-sign with the Bucs. That was a cut and then bring him back to juggle the roster stuff. So, again, I don't think it's a huge need. I want a pure outside corner. It's not really what Logan Ryan is at this point. He's more of a nickel safety hybrid player. So I say no either way for the Patriots. Now, the NFL season is almost here. So subscribe for free daily videos. That is news, rumors, you name it. Let me know in the comments section if you have subscribed. If not, hit that big red button right now. Bear Buffet, any free agent offense lineman for the Falcons? You claim Chuma Adoga. I would look at a guy like Eric Flowers, plug him in at left guard, but that's kind of the situation I think they're at, where you don't need to invest. There isn't much more options to invest on that offensive line. There is a dearth of talent out there. It makes things very tricky to juggle from that standpoint. From Joshua Pedraza, who will have the biggest upset win in Week 1? Okay, let me pull up the Week 1 schedule since I don't have that committed to memory. I'm not quite that big of a nerd when it's all said and done. So let's see what we got here. We've got Eagles, Lions, Niners, Bears, Steelers, Bengals. I don't know if any of those would be good upsets. Patriots, Dolphins, Saints, Falcons. Okay, how about Joe Flacco elite upset alert? Jets take down the Ravens. That'd be pretty stunning, I think. That'd be crazy stunning. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go Jets take down the Ravens or the Vikings take down the Packers. That's just the route I think you could consider going in the end. All right, from the RC Plane Builder, top 5 candidates for Comeback Player of the Year. Okay, well, actually, how about we show you the odds for Comeback Player of the Year? Derrick Henry plus 425, Jameis Winston plus 450, Daniel Jones plus 800, Christian McCaffrey plus 1,000, and Michael Thomas plus 1,000. So 2 Saints players on there. I'm going to cross off Daniel Jones. Sorry. If McCaffrey stays fully healthy for a year, which is a pretty big if, I think it's McCaffrey. I like the value there, plus 1,000. Henry's a good bet, and you can never rule out the wee baby Jameis, of course, because that's just how things always tend to go. So who will win Comeback Player of the Year? Let me know in the comments section. Is it Winston? Is it McCaffrey? Someone else altogether? Drop that name for me in the comments. SM, is Darrell Henderson a fantasy sleeper? Sure. I don't think he's that great of an option, but if you're going the 0 RB strategy, gambling on Henderson late in the process, I think is a totally fine move there. From John Dorman, worst wide receivers. Oh, this is a good one. The Chicago Bears or the Green Bay Packers. So the Bears have Darnell Mooney, who's better than anyone on the Packers roster. Their best receiver is Romeo Doubs, Allen Lazard. It's not a good grouping. Overall, I don't like either receiving core. I think by a pretty safe margin, though, I think it's the Green Bay Packers have the worst wide receiver core. It's bad. Randall Cobb's a shell of himself. So is Sammy Watkins. So I go Packers have the worst wide receiver core.